for the greatest gift of all.
It's baby Santa. It's baby Santa.
Welcome back everybody to the 8th year of doing these gift guides. I'll have a playlist of all the previous videos in the description if you guys are interested. I feel like all the previous videos have fantastic ideas, and I'm trying not to repeat ideas so that they're always there's always fresh ideas. I wrote a list of quite a few things, and I also got some suggestions from you guys. In my last video, started off with workshops, so obviously I'm a ceramicist, so I would always recommend a workshop for ceramics, but there's also, you know, workshops for woodworking or candle making, soap making. Oh my god, Ollie, chill! Oh my gosh! I think workshops are great gifts because it's a new experience that you're learning, and it's a skill set that you're teaching someone. It's kind of like, you know, do you teach someone to fish, or do you give them a fish to like feed them, right? Obviously I'm a ceramicist, so I would say a workshop for ceramics would be awesome. I'm actually teaching one on Thursday. If you're in LA and you want to take a boot making workshop, I'm doing an air dry clay course with Sculpt. So everyone will get one of these bags, and this will make about, if you're making this size of a boot, this will make about like 4 or 5 boots. So I'll leave more information on that workshop in the description. Obviously that's only if you're in LA, but if you're not, look up your local ceramics studios and see if they have any workshops or courses. I like workshops only because it's a fewer amount of days, so you don't have to worry about booking someone for a whole month. Candle making workshops, soap making workshops. Maddie bought me a workshop for a beer making course once, and we did that together, so it was a cool quality time spent situation, but also we learned how to make beer, and we got to try beer, and it was just fun and funny. In my neighborhood there's a lot of like dye baths workshops, or like indigo dyeing workshops. I think on Airbnb there are experiences that you can purchase, so that would be kind of cool, because I always think about doing that kind of stuff when I'm traveling, but whenever I'm just at home I don't think about taking workshops or courses or tours. My next category are consumables, which I think this is my favorite category only because, so I am someone who already buys the things that I want. If you get these type of people, consumables like a bottle of wine or whiskey, or I wrote down fresh baked cookies because I would love to receive that. My neighbor gave me ramen eggs a while ago, so I mean I love ramen eggs, and I know that it takes a lot of time to make, so that's a total treat, right? There's also pickles or hot sauces if you're good at making that kind of thing. And also just candles, like candles from, I'm burning one right now. This is Topanga Canyon from Joan Gray, who's a local artist. So yeah, just candles in general. Something that you can use up completely, and then you don't feel like you have to keep it around for whenever the person comes around next. Things that can be consumed quickly, those are my favorite kind of gifts to receive. Next category I have here is maintenance. Things that you would do for yourself normally, but sometimes it might seem like a treat. So I get my hair cut like once or maybe twice a year, and they're pretty expensive. If someone gave me credit to get a haircut or hair dye or even getting a blowout, that seems like such a treat. So if you know that this person's already going to get this type of maintenance, you know, like a haircut, facial, mani-pedi, like book that for them. Obviously book them their favorite person, or just give them a voucher for the next time they get their hair done. It's on you, you know? Framing, so that's a service that I feel like is a little bit extra, because most people will go to IKEA or Target to buy frames, right? And if you take it to a framing house, like this photo up here, I have it framed from a framing house. A lot of the photos in my house are framed through a framing house. I love bringing my frames there because I'm not that creative in terms of framing, but in a framing house, they do it all day, so they kind of know what matting to use, what to do to make it look unique. So if you have a Polaroid or a family photo or a photo that you took on vacation with this person you're trying to gift to, yeah, get it framed in a framing house or at a framing house and have them kind of guide you through how to do it. You'll be surprised. Sometimes people have like the most unique ideas. I know I mentioned this in previous videos, but a car detailing is something I hardly ever do. I think I get my car washed like once every year or something like that. But a car detailing is something so extra and it does take up time. Same goes for an apartment deep cleaning. The New Year's coming up, and in the lunar New Year calendar, it's always good to like enter the new year with a clean house, right? So if you do that right before the new year, it just sets the intention for the following year, and I think that's such a wonderful gift. Next category is mending. So say whoever you're shopping for already has everything that they want. Like most of these gifts are for people who already have everything that they want physically, right? So there's services like shoe repair or garment repair, or taking someone's stuff to the tailor to get it like altered to fit them perfectly. Also, again, local dye bath. Like let's say you have sheets that don't look so great, but they're still in really good condition. What you can do is turn it into a local dye bath. There's one in LA called Sway. I think they do like once a month. They have a bunch of different colors, and then you can choose from the colors and you pay a certain amount per weight. And yeah, I think it's such a great idea because you're still using the same garment or the same pieces, but you just see it in a new light. This is something you have to give them a certificate to, because I wouldn't just take my sister's jacket and then dye it for her and then present it to her on Christmas Day, you know? So this is something you really do have to get consent before doing. In terms of mending clothes, another thing that you can do is if they have an item that they love, like Jason has a sweater that he got ages and ages ago. It kind of looks like this sweater actually, that he really loves. And he wears it all the time and it's just getting thinner and thinner. Every time you wash it, you can just tell that it's just getting like paper thin and kind of stretched out. So what I did was I went on eBay and found the exact same sweater, paid like 11 bucks for it or something like that. Now that we have those items out of the way, I have the gift basket category. There's a lot of Shoppy-shops in LA, and if you know what a Shoppy-shop is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But a Shoppy-shop to me is grocery or a pantry store, or just like a cute goods store, sometimes selling food items. So if you just grab a bunch of like pantry items and put them together in a basket or in a tote, then whoever is receiving it can go through the items slowly. Like I just went to an event and it was for Just Black Denim, and it was hosted by Kate of Bite Sized, and she put together a gift basket of all her favorite food items, so like pistachio milk and tinned fish and these like peppers, and then also a bunch of other things like candles and sunscreen. Just putting a bunch of smaller things together, almost like stocking stuffers, and then putting it in one tote bag or into one basket. I mean, not a lot of people are gonna be offended by a gift basket. Another thing that you can do is go to a farmer's market and then do a farmer's market haul. So whatever you would normally get for your own groceries, get it for someone else. Get like some really nice fresh produce or local produce that's in season, and not only will the person receiving it be able to use it and consume it and nourish themselves, sometimes it offers a new ingredient that you have to figure out how to cook, so it's a good challenge as well. If you get a bunch of teas that you like, or go to a bulk item store, there's one in LA called Regrocery, so you just go in and you fill up bags or jars of stuff, and it's all by weight. So if you were to do something like that, get a tea set together and then go to a thrift store or a vintage store, or even like your local ceramics markets and stuff, and buy a set of mugs or vintage teacups and saucers, and then put it together in a little box. I saw this TikTok of someone like putting a bunch of newspaper down and then putting a nice napkin right on top of that, and then laying the cups in there inside the box, and then putting tea on the side. So it's like a little kit that they personally assembled themselves for the person receiving the gift. That's such a fantastic idea, because you see that with liquor sets often, and it always looks fancy, right? There's like a velvet backing and whiskey glasses and stuff. But really, you can find those items all separately and cater it to exactly what you like or what you think the person receiving it would like. And then, yeah, pair it with a liquor that they like or an alcoholic beverage that they like if they're into that. Vintage books. Everyone's gonna have the new Claire Saffitz or Molly Baz books, but not everyone has the popular French cookbook by Mary Berry that I found at a thrift store, or Salad Days by Ursula Norman, illustrated by Derek Norman. You know, not everyone's gonna have vintage cookbooks, and food is food, and trends come and go. In the 80s and early 90s, there were so many microwave cookbooks. David Chang has a whole microwave line now, so I mean, everything kind of comes back. And same goes for interior design books. Like, everyone's gonna have that new Noguchi book. Gosh, like every year it's a different book, but you see it in every single styling, like prop styling video or photo and stuff, and it gets so exhausting. But not everyone has Living Well, New York Times book, 1981. Not everyone's gonna have this. So vintage design books and vintage cookbooks, because ideas kind of just recycle themselves. You can always get good ideas from the past. Obviously there are some bad ideas as well, but I mean, people are capable of their own judgment, right? The last category I have here are just like new things. So in this category, I have a Bluetooth speaker. So I'm doing a white elephant gift exchange with my family for Halloween, or for Christmas, and we're supposed to spend $50 but less than $75. So I was thinking a Bluetooth speaker would be a good idea, because Jason's mom got him and his siblings all the same Wonder Boom speaker. It comes in handy, it's super useful, and you can bring it to the beach without feeling like it's like a super expensive Bluetooth speaker. So you're not like too fragile with it. And yet the sound quality is fantastic, and you can pair them too, which is so cool. So Bluetooth speaker is my number one choice. Rechargeable lamps. I noticed that whenever you go to a restaurant now, at every table, instead of having like a little burning candle or one of those fake candles, a lot of places are having little mushroom lamps that are rechargeable. So at the end of the night, someone just goes around and takes them all in and then charges them all over again. But for the most part, they last, I think, quite a substantial amount of time. I think it's such a great idea, because especially if you live in an older home, there's not an outlet on every wall. Obviously it's so useful because you can bring that anywhere. Like, people love having lamps in their kitchen because they don't want to use their big light above, right? Or in their bathroom. So yeah, a little rechargeable lamp, a small one. Last thing I have here is an extension cord. They have some really beautiful like fabric corded from this brand called Conway, but I mean, a bunch of different brands make them, and they look vintage, but they're great, especially if you live in an older house, which I do, and I've been thinking about it constantly, so that's why it's on this list. Yeah, it's something that I would love to have, because it's such a smart design, and yet it's incredibly useful. I use one for my record system, and it's so convenient because I can turn on everything, like the two turntables, the mixer, and the speaker, using one little switch. So those are all the suggestions that I have. I know this is a stressful time for a lot of people, so if you have any suggestions of your own, please leave a comment, and let's all help each other out, you know? I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a fun, not stressful holiday season, and I'll see you in the next one.